In this video I'm going to talk about basic trigonometric functions. I'm starting off with a function of the form, get my pen to go, in the form y equals sine x. Now along the x-axis here I've actually got it in degrees, so we've actually got one at, this here would be 90 degrees, this here is 180 degrees, this point here would be around about 270 degrees, and this point over here is 360 degrees. A couple of points that you want to note about this is on the y-axis it actually crosses at 0. Then it goes up to a maximum here of 1, then it goes back down to 0, and then down to a minimum of -1. So the actual going from maximum to minimum, this distance here goes from all the way up to 1 to -1. So this distance that we've got here is actually called the amplitude. And it is basically just how high it goes. A standard y equals sine x graph just goes from 1 to -1. Now this is all in degrees when we've got degrees along the x-axis. Right, now we've got y equals sine x. The next thing I want to do is have a look at what happens if I have a number in the front of the sine x. So that would be the next thing to do. So if I change this function to something like putting maybe a 2 in the front of it, let's just see what that happens there. Right, couple of things to note: it hasn't moved anywhere, so it is still crossing at 0, at 180, and back at 360 again. What has happened though is the amplitude, this bit here, that distance there, has actually gone up. It's doubled, and the distance that it goes down from the average has also doubled. So remember, this is the form of y equals 2 sine x. So that's what happens when you actually put a number in the front. It just stretches it up vertically. Right, what if I have a number on the end? So that would be the next thing to do. Let's put a number on the end. What if I put something, we'll change our scale, we'll put something like do from 8, and we will put a number on the end, something like +1. Right, what that has actually done is it has moved the entire graph. It has moved the entire graph here. It used to cross at 0, it now crosses at 1. So our average line actually now goes along here. So that there would be now 0, but it is actually up 1. Be careful here, these are now 0.5, so this whole distance here has actually moved up 1. That means that our maximum actually now goes from all the way up to the point 3, because it'll be 2 up from it. So that there will then be 2. So this equation here is y equals sine x, because again the sine x, we started on the axis and went up from there. It has moved up 1. The whole graph has moved up. So it has moved up 1. Hang on just a minute. I'm just going to put this away and bring the pen back again. Make that there. So we've got y equals 2 sine x plus 1, because there is 1 here. It has started there and it has moved up from there too high. So that's how a basic sine graph moves around. What about if I'm looking not at a sine graph, if I was actually doing a cosine graph? So instead of that being a sine graph, we're actually going to do a cosine graph. With the cosine graph, you'll notice that it actually starts on the y-axis at its maximum point. So it actually starts here, that is its maximum point. And then it comes down and then it goes back up again to its maximum point. So it still does the same sinusoidal shape. Right, now that starts at the maximum point. You would normally expect the maximum point, okay, to start at 1, which would be here. This is quite a bit up from that. With these ones here, you've got to also look at what the minimum point is. There's the minimum point, it is at 1. There's the maximum point, it is at 3. So therefore, it goes between 1 and 3. You want where the middle is. The middle number will show you where it's actually moved up. Okay? So therefore, you look for where that middle number is. This middle number is here. It happens to be at 1. So going up from the middle, you've gone up 2, and you've gone down 2. So this here is y equals cos x. You've moved the middle number up 1, and from the middle, going up to the maximum, down to the minimum, you have a 2 in the front of it. Okay, those are the basic trigonometric graphs. I'll do a couple more and explain a little bit about radians in the next video.